So today I'm going to pickle these bell peppers. Some I'll freeze. These are huge. I have like big bear paws, hands. So anyway, I'm going to oil these, put olive oil on them. Then I'm going to put them on the grill, get the skins all black, and then be able to peel that. And then I'll show you what happens. It's exciting! So I'm going to take these peppers and I am going to coat them in olive oil before I put them on the grill to roast them or blacken the skin. Hey, for once, not such a windy day. Tide's going out. Perfect time to do some canning. It's quite lovely. Just a little bit of wind, enough to keep you from sweating like a frisky girl in church. As I'm taking them off the grill, I'm dropping them in that large Tupperware bowl I use like 8 million times. And I cover it with aluminum foil. And as you can see, the skin is all ready to peel off. So I sweated it out at the grill, and I've got my bell peppers roasted. You would also roast pieces of garlic for this, but I already have a jar of previously roasted garlic that I'm going to add. So I got my big giant bowl with these big hefties. And I've got my small pan with 6 of the big ones. So now I'm going to peel them. Fun, fun. I have Fred my fan rocking along to my right, so sorry about the fan racket. But it's very easy now to pull off these skins. And then I've got to seed it, pull the seeds out. And then you've seen with my red peppers that I pulled out to use in a recipe that how easy it'll be for me to just slice these into little chunks that I'm then going to can. I am not going to be dropping the seeds and the skins into my compost pile because they did have oil on them, so I don't need any kind of funky issue going in my compost. So I like to lay it open, cut out that little seed part. What the hell is that? I'm also going to rinse these after I lay them in this bowl here. Generally the skin comes right off. Sometimes you may have to poke it with your knife. I do not like to try and do this when they're hot. It may be easier when they're hot, but I do not have asbestos fingers. So, you just are going to be skinning and pulling and de-seeding and then rinse. I peeled all the skin, got rid of all the seeds and the little hard parts underneath the stem, rinsed them off, and they did fill a full colander, so we might get 2, maybe somewhere between 2 and 4 pints. Might just be 3. But anyway, I'll have some preserved bell peppers, which is part of the Cajun Holy Trinity of onion, celery, and bell pepper. One must have them on hand. Oh yeah! The recipe I'm using is from the Ball Book, and I've used it before, very happy with it. And it is the pickled roasted red peppers on page 317. Now this actually is going to have 1 cup of chopped onions in it, and yet it's still water bathed, unlike the cucumbers, the bread and butter that I did where I had to remove the onions. So when I was up at the canning college, I asked them why I could leave the onions up in here, but I could not leave the onions up in the bread and butter pickles. So what they said was some kind of gobbledygook, but basically the difference was that in this I'm going to be using vinegar and apple cider vinegar. So somehow they have like chemically determined that that is the right amount of vinegar for the preservation, and then the onions don't get out ate up with the botulism. So I'm just kind of rolling with what they said, because I ain't died yet, and I've been eating my canned bell peppers for like 5 years. So, you never know, but when you go to the canning college, they teach you all kind of crazy stuff, and you just roll with it, because it's determined on how it works. Another thing that's going in this is wine. Do not get a box of wine that is called cooking wine. It's garbage. It's effectively vinegar. If you won't drink it, don't put it in your food. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to put like how much? A cup and a half of this? And I'm going to drink the rest. So you cook get a little bit, the pot get a little bit. So use a good cooking wine. Use good fresh ingredients now. Come on now. You know. So here is my concoction with white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, sugar, 1 cup of onions, 2 tablespoons of oregano, and I just want to get this hot and make sure that the sugar is completely dissolved. I will not be putting the pickled bell peppers in here. I'll be placing them into my canning jars. Then I'll be ladling this liquid over the top. And as you can see, I got my little lids back there, all warm and cozy. And I'll see how many pints. I always do more lids and more pints than I think I'll need, just so I wouldn't be short anything. And then everything's ready to be sealed. See what happens. So in my concoction was 1½ cups white vinegar, the 5%, 1½ cups cider vinegar, 1½ cups good dry white wine, ½ cup water, 1 cup of coarsely chopped onion, a ½ cup of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons dried oregano, and 4 teaspoons pickling or canning salt. And I just use kosher salt because it doesn't have the iodine in it. So that's the recipe. And then, of course, I put 4 of my cloves of garlic that I already had roasted and in a jar. And if you didn't have them, you would roast them on your grill when you did the peppers with their skin on it, just 4 of them. Then you would remove the skin and smush them. They call it mashing, I call it smushing. Then you throw it in your pot. So for the first time ever, I ended up with 1 pint more. So I got 6 pints, and I'm waiting for my concoction to come to a boil. And then I will ladle it into my pickled peppers. Try to say that, it's not easy. I got like a green theme going here by accident. So anywho, and I'll do it to 1/2 inch headspace. And headspace is epically important for safe canning. Keep it accurate. When you're going to fill your pickled pepper jar with the liquid, you want to get your Pokey Joe in here and push them aside. If you don't, what will happen is you see they're up to the top. When you put the liquid in, it's just going to overflow through the underneath of your funnel. So just make you a Pokey Joe hole, so that, or a hole with your Pokey Joe, so that the liquid can get there. Then get your headspace and your air out. Ask me how I know that happens. Yeah, been there, done that. And ever since that moment, I have put my jars in a bowl instead of having an overflowing lava mass of hot, sticky vinegars flowing down my wax paper onto my toes. Oh yeah, Make a Pokey Joe hole. Do it. Okay, I'm going for it before it rains. Because that one storm passed us, nothing happened. So I got 30,000 BTUs trying to crank up because I only got to do this 15 minutes. You got birds birding. You got clouds clouding. Come on, only got to do this 15 minutes once it burls. I got nothing but hope. Nothing but hope. Oh yeah, I might beat the storm. Burling like crazy, got up to heat in no time with that 30,000 BTU burner. Steam out here instead of my kitchen. Good thing. Well, there they are. 6 nice pints. Part of my Cajun Trinity. Can't go wrong. Preserve your food. Mouse toes out.